I'm Dr. Perry Kyles. Welcome to Black and Gold. If you have not already, subscribe to this channel. When we talk about Kemet, we must be precise. Kemet does not mean black soil. Linguistically and grammatically, it is best understood as the black state or the black country, a civilizational self-designation that collapses land, people, and polity into one unified idea. The people of Kemet repeatedly and intentionally represented themselves as deeply black in funerary, royal, and divine context. This was not accidental and not merely an artistic convention. In mortuary temples such as that of Hatshepsut, Down, and Luxor, and the elite tombs on the Giza Plateau, such as Mers Ankh, figures were darkened well beyond realistic pigmentation. Early photographic documentation confirms this before later restoration practices altered appearances. But why? Why did they do this? I'll explain. In Kemetic cosmology, blackness functioned as the language of completion, not inadequacy, or soullessness, as in the Western cosmology. Black symbolized restoration, fertility, rebirth, and divine fulfillment. Asar, the god of resurrection, is black because blackness represents the perfected state. To become transfigured in the afterlife was to align oneself with this ideal. The Kemetic people aspired to this deep blackness. Blackness as the highest state of evolution was unquestioned. This worldview does not rely on comparison. Kemet did not define itself against outsiders, nor did it construct identity through opposition. They didn't see the need. There was no need to argue superiority over others because the civilization understood itself as already complete. Thus, blackness was the norm, the default, the ideal condition of being. Modern listeners often struggle because contemporary language has been shaped by hierarchy, violence, and the notion of white supremacy. In the Arab world, black is equated with sin. If I had 10 Egyptian pounds for every person that told me that I had black skin but a white heart, I'd have about 5,000 Egyptian pounds. In a literal sense, it would be fitting to refer to the people of Kemet as black supremacists. However, that framework does not map perfectly onto Kemet. They conceived of their blackness as civilizational self-completion, a people defining themselves in the context of perfection, without reference to any enemy or rival. The critical point is this: Kemet treated blackness as statehood, and even the highest status of the evolved person. Hence, they become who? Who do they become in the midst of their transformation? They become a Asar of the perfect black. Furthermore, blackness was the visual and metaphysical expression of life, continuity, and cosmic order. It was inward, absolute, and self-contained. Understanding Kemet demands that we abandon modern racial hierarchies and approach the evidence on its own terms. When we do, we see a civilization that encoded blackness as divinity, perfection, and eternity, and did so unapologetically. Thank you for watching. This is Black and Gold. Be sure to subscribe.